Hi, welcome to Level Up Your OTT with CoxNext. I'm Beth Bowers, I'm a director at CoxNext, and we're an omni-channel digital agency that's big on fun and very passionate about our client results. Today we're going to talk about the OTT basics, the explosive growth in the industry, and also share our best practices. At the end, we'll answer questions, so stick around to talk to our media strategy team.
Welcome to the CoxNext TV OTT webinar. I'm Cameron Williams. Let's get started. We always like to level set on what OTT means to us and our advertisers. There are many definitions out there for OTT, and it's important to understand what type of inventory you're buying and where your ad could possibly run. For us, OTT is more than just video content streamed over the internet. It is a real-time opportunity to create an emotional connection with a potential consumer that can be challenging to reach in a traditional way. OTT truly allows the consumer to control what they watch and how they want to watch video content. Because OTT is video content streamed over the internet, the audience will need to have some kind of connected device. Two of the most common devices are connected TVs and smart TVs. In 2019, smart TVs represented 67% of all TV sales, which will make it that much easier for consumers to access a variety of content options. A common question for people new to the OTT space is, how do you access the inventory? We broke it down into 3 easy steps. Number 1, having a device that allows the consumer to access the internet. Number 2, because of that internet connection, the consumer can access shows or video content through an app like ESPN or a streaming aggregator like Sling TV. Number 3, the content, like The Bachelor or a live sporting event, plays directly onto that device. The big thing to remember with OTT is, it is very much like TV, but it executes like a digital campaign. A few more common terms and meanings that may come up in your OTT journey include short form, or video content with a duration typically between 2 to 10 minutes in length. Cord cutting, switching from a paid cable TV subscription to an internet-based TV service, such as Sling TV, Netflix, Pluto TV, or Hulu. Cord nevers, people who never had a paid TV subscription, but which subscribe to OTT video services. OVP, or online video platform, a place for users to upload, store, and distribute content online. DTC, or direct to consumer, when your content skips over the intermediary and goes directly to the consumer. For example, Netflix doesn't need a TV channel to show its content. It's delivered direct to consumer. An FEP, or full episode player. This includes broadcast and cable-like inventory. OTT video viewership is increasing across all demographics, not just millennials. There's been a lot of hesitation to enter the OTT space because advertisers believe OTT is limited to the younger audience. The reality is, OTT is one of the fastest growing platforms across all age groups. Even in cases where consumers still have traditional TV, they are engaging 60% more with streaming platforms versus traditional TV. By 2021, OTT subscribers are expected to grow to 1.1 billion, with a B. By 2023, eMarketer expects that there will be more cord cutters and cord nevers than paid TV households, which means advertisers will continue to have to implement smart video plans that include frequency and authenticity. OTT has been growing at a rapid pace, and the impact of COVID-19 did not slow that down. Streaming habits have more than doubled during the pandemic, which has left consumers looking for a variety of content to watch. Esports, which is also a rapidly growing advertising medium, has seen a 60% spike in the last few months. Now we're going to get into OTT platform. OTT content can be delivered through a myriad of platforms and providers. The most common being MVPDs, vMVPDs, and OTT network. Multi-channel video program distributors, or MVPDs, are a type of service provider that delivers TV programming services to the consumer, often charging a subscription fee. Examples of MVPDs are cable and satellite TV providers like Comcast Xfinity. Virtual multi-channel video program distributors, or vMVPDs, do not own the delivery network but use the open internet to distribute content. One example of a vMVPD is Dish Network's Sling and Hulu. OTT operating systems and/or device manufacturers who sell media inventory without providing in-viewer content delivery or TV program services. One example of an OTT operating system is Roku. A question advertisers always ask is, what type of content will my ad be shown in? Here are some examples of CoxNext TV's content partners. A major benefit to the OTT space is the enhanced targeting and data options. OTT provides the best of both worlds. You have that TV environment with all the benefits that come along with a targeted digital campaign. Some common targeting options include behavioral, interest, demographic, advanced data, cross-device, and content targeting. With the enhanced targeting CoxNext TV can provide, we can be sure we're going after the right audience, on the right device, at the right time. As an advertiser looking to get into the OTT environment, it's important to understand industry best practices and the type of inventory your vendor has access to. We believe it's important to find inventory that fits your need, as opposed to forcing our advertisers into predetermined inventory set. When running an OTT campaign, it is crucial to take advantage of real-time campaign optimizations. You no longer have to wait until the campaign is over to ensure you are targeting the right audience at the right time. With CoxNext TV, our principles when executing an OTT campaign include optimizing the ad spend, taking advantage of enhanced targeting, real-time campaign improvements, and lastly, a blended video approach. By using that blended video approach, it allows us to hit someone while they are relaxed, watching Schitt's Creek, but also on that secondary device, like a phone or tablet, to increase frequency and awareness. Here are the metrics you can expect to be delivered for a standard OTT campaign. They include impressions, broken out by network, quartiles, video completes, and a DMA breakdown. This has been the CoxNext TV OTT webinar. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the CoxNext TV YouTube channel. And now we're sending it to our media strategy team to answer any questions you may have.
Hey guys, and thank you for joining our webinar. Welcome to Level Up Your OTT with the CoxNext team. My name is Catherine Costigan, and I am the Senior Digital Strategist here at CoxNext. And I am going to turn it over to my colleagues so that they can introduce themselves before we jump into the questions.
Hey everyone, I'm Caitlin Lewis, and I'm a digital strategist here at CoxNext. Thanks for joining.
Hi, I'm Abby Harper. I'm the manager of media strategy, and we are so excited that you guys have tuned in today and looking forward to getting to your questions.
All right, let's kick it off with our first question. So we'll start off. We have one question from Columbus Tech. Will CoxNext make this presentation downloadable afterward to attendees? There's a lot of good information I'd like to share with my team. Thanks.
Absolutely. We are going to send this out to everyone who signed up for the webinar. We're also going to schedule personal OTT consultations with everybody with your account director.
Just a reminder, go ahead and send in your questions via the chat. We'll try to get to as many as we can before we wrap up today's webinar.
So I just wanted to remind everybody to make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube page and also to our blog at CoxNext. Just throwing that out there.
So we're going to go ahead and review some of the topics that we went through in the presentation, which is what are the things you really should be looking for when you're vetting an OTT vendor, what type of OTT inventory is out there, and how do you know that they're a right fit for you? So for some clients, they hear a lot about, direct buys versus DSP inventory. So at CoxNext, our team has really built a multi-platform of options for our clients, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we are utilizing the entire video ecosystem and not just forcing you into a predetermined inventory set. So it really depends on what's your goal, what's your frequency, and what is that secondary action you want somebody to take after they see your TV ad or OTT ad. So for us, and as many people know, everyone's constantly changing when it comes to consumer behaviors and how they interact with video and advertising messaging, right? So we really focus on what is that secondary action? How are we getting frequency at a very cost-efficient price for you, but also making sure that at the end of the day, we are hitting the consumer how they want to interact with that video inventory.
All right, we have a couple more questions. We've got another question that says, I noticed HBO was listed as places where client videos could air, but isn't HBO commercial free?
Yes. So for us, that's a great question. We are able to utilize HBO data to target people in an audience platform, right? So one of the huge benefits of OTT is it has a TV-like experience, right? So you're really able to hit home that emotional connection and create your authentic, feel with that consumer. But we're able to layer in digital data. So no longer do you have to go after a very specific TV show, but we can hit somebody that has a specific app downloaded that has certain, data points that we're able to push through as a targeting option.
Great question. We have another question that says, will you please expand on the blended experience?
Yes. So for us, what that means is obviously within OTT environment, we want to make sure we're hitting that TV in the household. But at the end of the day, we know everyone when they go watch TV, they're no longer just fully engaged with that television in their living room. So they may be on a television, or they may be on a cell phone or a tablet or a laptop. So for us, it's also making sure we understand how does somebody engage with that video message on the TV screen, but when they see it and it resonates with them, how are we hitting them with that secondary video message? So Abby has built a great structure with her team to make sure we're following it up with with their YouTube strategy, with short form, right? So it's a little more advanced than pre-roll inventory, where it's somebody searching a specific talk show or interview, and really making sure we're blending that in. So we're able to add a little more frequency and longevity to the video program.
So just to expand on that a little bit, to Catherine's point, it's like a holistic video campaign that we put together. OTT is just one component. So to pair that with a YouTube strategy, pre-roll, other kind of video, so you hit the consumer more than once. And to Catherine's point, what resonates with one person may not resonate with another. So to make sure that you have a holistic view or holistic campaign together, you're covering all your bases there. And we have a team of media strategists that are in-house that make sure that we know what platform or what is working best and can optimize appropriately.
Awesome. We have another question. It says, do people use traditional TV videos or create specific videos for OTT?
That's a really great question. As far as creative is concerned, going back to the blended approach, it depends on what device you're looking at, right? So our recommendation and the research that we have come upon showed that shorter video, that 15-second, is going to resonate better as far as OTT is concerned than opposed to a 30. Obviously, there's inventory for both, but that's just what we have seen in performance metrics in the past. And you also got to think about, something that's going to look good on a smaller screen and also a bigger screen, or there's options to make a creative that's going to dynamically change to whatever screen size it is.
Awesome. Yep. Keep sending your questions in the chat. We have a few more that we'll try to get to. The next question is, great info. We are reviewing OTT partners. What's better, DSP or direct?
So both. It really depends on what your goals are for the campaign. So at CoxNext, we have 3 different really opportunities when it comes to placing an OTT buy. And again, we've found success in being able to see the beauty in all of the options, whether it's you really want that cable-like environment. So we have that premium direct relationship. We've found for clients that are looking to amp up their pre-roll campaigns or their pre-roll budget, that DSP inventory is equally successful. We may just have a little bit less transparency on the back end, but it's that true OTT consumer. So you're going to have a lot of Roku and Sling TV viewers right in that space. And then we've been able to really access that premium direct relationship with like Watch ESPN and some of the other big names out there for clients who are looking to kind of change up their typical sports marketing.
Just to expand on that just a little bit, I think it also depends on the client's goals overall. There's kind of 2 ways to look at it, right? Do you want to be concerned with what TV shows or what sites or what networks you run on, or is it more of the who is watching, right? So there's 2 ways to set it up. We have many options within our house to access that different inventory. And to Catherine's point, we have direct relationships. So that's the more important, right? So if you just want to hit SEC football and we run on those specific networks, you don't want to layer in an audience targeting on top of that. So it all depends on, do you want to have a whitelist, or do you want a direct relationship, or do you want to just layer in, who is watching and hit them whatever they're watching?
Great question. We have another question. Could you explain a little bit more about the reporting? I'm interested in how often I should update my ad.
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So there's a million things you can say about reporting, but again, it goes back to how we structured the campaign to begin with based on the goals of the campaign. So if we're looking at completed views versus just impressions or reach, obviously those are the metrics we would look at. We have kind of a half and half approach, right? So we structure the campaign based on the goals, and the system and our algorithm will automatically make bid adjustments and optimize towards whatever creative is working. Then we've also got a team of in-house media strategists who go in and actually optimize and make those bigger optimizations to make sure that the creative that is performing better has more, higher bids behind it, more budget behind it. We typically at least let it run a few weeks or so, maybe on a monthly basis, check in to see which one is performing better, and if there is that big gap between, the different ads that you are running, then make a change. I would say no more than once a month.
Awesome. We have another question. What is the best practice for length of time to run an OTT campaign? And I would say, just like any other campaign, you want to run at least a minimum of 3 months. That really ensures that you get some time to let the campaign run, see what's resonating with your audience, and then you're able to make some optimizations based on that performance. Keep sending your questions. We are just about to wrap up here, so just want to make sure we get to all of your wonderful questions.
And I was just going to expand on Abby's note with reporting. So another thing our team will do is we will dig in on your Google Analytics to make sure we're seeing a spike in brand searches, organic traffic. Are people staying on your page longer? And does that match up with when your campaign's actually running? And are we seeing an increase in devices? Is there more exposure on a mobile device? So we make sure we look at the metrics on the view rate, but also on the back end. What are people doing, again, to do that secondary action?
We have another question. Can you track conversions? It's definitely a good question.
Yeah. So yes, you can definitely track conversions. I would say with video, it's one of those things where it would have to be a larger conversation. We would want to make sure there's enough scale for us to go after what we're looking at. And we would want to make sure that that truly is the focus and not the video completion rate, right? So it would need to be multi-device. We would need to make sure that we're really going after that regional or national audience. And then we can also, in addition to conversions, we can also look at measuring uplift. For some of our clients, they sell in big box retailers. So sometimes they don't get that final sales metric. So we can look at running, did somebody see your ad and walk into a specific location more frequently than somebody else who did not?
Just want to add one thing there. I would also like, if you're talking about conversions, that could be many different things. As we're all aware, our CTV or that type of inventory is non-clickable. So to Catherine's point, we'd want multi-device, something that somebody can actually click over to make an action or secondary action on the website. Or there's other ways to look at it. Like Catherine mentioned earlier in Google Analytics, is it higher search volume? Is that a conversion for you, right? Or is it somebody, you saw a spike in your site traffic? So there's other ways to complete, opposed to a direct action.
We have another question. Can CoxNext produce the video content, or does it need to be produced by the client?
So I would say nothing's off the table. Currently, we can definitely produce motion graphics, but we do, as you can see, we're coming to you live from our CoxNext studio. So it's definitely something that we could talk to and work through with the client if that's something that they need.
All right, I think that's all the time that we have today. But if you have any more questions, you can still reach out to all of us. And thank you so much for attending the webinar. And if you have anybody that wasn't able to attend live, this link will be sent out so you can share with as many people as you want. Thanks so much.